I'm trained in research. I have a PhD in counseling psychology. So I knew a pretty good bit about addiction per se, but knew absolutely nothing about gambling addiction. And from the very first time I pulled the handle on a slot machine, I loved it. In fact, that night, the very first time I played, they were trying to get me out of the place. I wanted to stay. I wanted to stay and keep playing. I just loved gambling. I loved playing slot machines. People would tell me, well, that's the worst odds you can play. I said, well, I know that. But I didn't have to think. I decided all I had to do was put the money in and push the button. I didn't even pull the handle. And it was quick, immediate feedback. Over the course of 3 years, I lost, I would say over $300,000. I had 17 credit cards maxed out. I had sold a car, I had sold a truck, I had sold a motorcycle. What I had taken $1,000 out of my credit union. That was to buy Christmas gifts. And my gambling mind said, let's go down to the casino and you can double that money. Well, I started gambling. I gambled for a long time, over 20 hours. I didn't eat. I didn't get up to go to the bathroom to relieve myself. I didn't take my blood pressure medication. I didn't even get up to go take a drink of water because I had a machine that I thought was, I was going to put a lot of money in, and the thinking was, well, it's going to get hot any minute. Never did, but that was my thinking. And so I tried to stand up just to stretch my legs, and I got dizzy, fell on the floor, and I didn't know if I'd had a heart attack or what. To come take my blood pressure, and it was just out of sight. And while I'm laying on the floor, I got to tell you, when you're laying on the floor in a casino and people are stepping over you, that's very embarrassing. But worse than that, a guy sat at my machine and started playing the credits that I had earned on the machine. See, nothing was important. My entire life revolved around gambling. And then Karen's life revolved around me trying to get me to come to my senses. And that was the pathology. It was like a weird planetary system. But the center of that universe for me was gambling. But I was a jerk when I was practicing my gambling. I would pick fights. There's no way to win against a gambling addict. If I come home, supper's not ready, why ain't supper ready? I'll just eat down at the casino, bye. Supper's ready, I ain't gonna eat this crap, I'm gonna eat something good down at the casino. So part of my, the psychology of it is to make the other person feel like they made you go gambling. And so that makes them feel guilty and justifies my going. My mind has changed. I got where I could rationalize anything. I could intellectualize anything. So I didn't worry too much about hurting people. It was a matter of saying, well, I'm going to do what I want to do. I came out of the casino and I didn't have a cent on me. I had gas in the car. And I can't tell you how many times I had come out, but for that particular night, it was just, I had a realization that, boy, I have really destroyed my life. Everything I worked for. I had decided I was going to shoot myself that night. I always carried a .357 Magnum in the glove compartment. I always had it locked. Turned the key and put my hand in there, couldn't feel nothing. I bent over and I looked, there was nothing in there. I thought, where's my gun? What happened to it? And doggone me, Karen probably took it out because she figured I might be trying to hurt myself. So I drove pretty fast to Mobile, and I woke Karen up when I got in, and I told her, I said, thank you. Oh, you saved my life. You saved my life. You took the gun out. And related to her what had happened. And she told me, she said, Johnny, I didn't take the gun out to save your life. I took the gun out to pay the electric bill so they wouldn't turn our lights off. When I say I'm wrong, I imply a moral judgment. It's like if you show up late, you can say, I'm sorry. But, not necessarily, you're not necessarily wrong. But no, most of the time I told Karen I was wrong. But, you know, my main thing was my wife. That was my main person, you know, that I had to make amends to.